So recently, I've stumbled on a video entitled, Why Batman is the Best Fighter Ever, which makes me wonder why Batman is still overrated in 2025. Just a quick disclaimer. I'm going to debunk some of Batman's martial arts skills, his physical strength, attack potency, durability, intelligence, and reaction speed. Martial arts. First of all, I've seen people using a scan from Batman Off-World issue number 1, where he trains with a robot. And people try to say that he learned new martial arts from across the galaxy with the help of this robot. But in the actual comic, Batman learns how to defeat different kinds of aliens and not martial arts. The real amount of martial arts that Batman knows is 127, as shown and stated in multiple guidebooks. Second, people use things like this where it says that Batman's skills are legendary or unknown, which is completely fake. But I'll get to that later, because people use scans like this to say that Batman is trained in more martial arts than Karate Kid, a guy who knows every martial art of the 31st century. Now, we actually do know how many martial arts Batman knows, because it was stated in multiple guidebooks, and the number is 127. Yes, Batman is trained in 127 martial arts and doesn't know any alien martial arts. Now that we got past the number of martial arts that Batman actually is familiar with, let's talk about physical strength. People think that Batman was able to pull an entire plane because of this scan from Batman Rebirth, issue 1. But if you actually read the comic, you'll see that Batman put a gadget on both wings of the plane, and his grappling hook was just the steering wheel. So, no, Batman did not pull a plane. Another feat I've seen is this. But if you look closely, you can see that Batman's glove is actually cutting the plane. So he did not tear the wing of a plane. Another feat is lifting Solomon Grundy, but he only weighs 517 pounds, or 234 kilograms. And also, not to mention that he got physically overpowered by a random thug, and needed help to get the thug off of him. Attack potency. This will be a long one because Batman's attack potency is one of the most overrated things about him. First of all, in this scan, Batman had kryptonite in his hand and still stated he broke his knuckles after punching Superman. Another scan where Batman had kryptonite to beat Superman. Here he was amped by the Amazo virus. So this does not count either because Batman was literally amped. Here, Batman made Joker look like Wonder Woman. And even if this was the actual Wonder Woman, which, again, she is not. But anyway, if this would be the actual Wonder Woman, she would have been weakened by the Joker toxin, which is stated that it weakens everybody it's used on. Here, Batman, all he did was to stagger. Green Lantern Witch didn't seem to be affected by Batman's punch. A very delusional scan is this one where Batman punches Spectre. But as you can see from the speech booble, Spectre weakened himself intentionally, because he thought it would make him feel better. And in this scan, the gas in the background weakened Wonder Woman. And even then, Batman himself stated that his knuckles shattered after punching her. Just as his attack potency, Batman's piercing and blunt durability are very overrated. People use this scan where an angry Wonder Woman tackles Batman. But again, this was Wonder Woman under the control of the Joker toxin witch. Again, weakens everybody it's used on. Another scan is Batman taking hits from Swamp Thing. But Swamp Thing himself states that he's holding back against Batman. And even before that, Batman used a weapon that he created to defeat him, which means that Swamp Thing was weakened and still holding back his attacks. Here, damage broke Batman's ribs in just one punch. He almost got killed after Superman punched him. Batman needed to be saved by both Pika and Wonder Woman on 2 different occasions, so he wouldn't get killed by Superman. And in this scan, Batman has armor made from the Mother Box to protect himself from Darkseid. Now, in piercing durability, Batman gets hurt by regular knives, swords, bullets, and even a piece of wood. Now, in terms of intelligence, I don't have a lot to say other than his detective skills are overrated. Like he is supposed to be the world's greatest detective, but in literally every case he needs to solve, the villain always reveals himself. If you don't trust me, just pick up a comic and read it for yourself. Also, in this scan, Batman didn't manipulate Luthor with anything, because he just says that he will protect Luthor from the law. Also, this scan right here from Batman World's Finest Issue 1, where I've seen a guy saying that Batman was able to deduce which door. Joker went through it, but the only thing Batman did was to determine that there was an exact number of doors, and then Superman found the fingerprint on the door that Joker went through. His reaction speed is again very overrated. People try to use scans like this to say that he was able to tag the Flash, Reverse Flash, and Amazo Flash. First, Batman wanted to hit Alfred, but Flash got in the way and took the punch. Batman didn't hit the Flash because he wanted to, but because Flash got in the way of the punch. Second, Batman stabbed Reverse Flash in the leg, which distracted him, and then Batman took his chance and punched Reverse Flash, who was just toying with Batman. Third, there is no statement that says Amazo Flash used his full speed, because in scans like this, like from Batman World's Finest Issue 1, where Superman moves Batman so fast he can't even understand what is happening, or when Batman tries to punch Superman and he's too fast for him. Also, Batman himself states that if Superman really wanted to, he could use his speed to kill him. So, in the end, Batman is not durable enough to survive blows from Superman. He isn't fast enough to catch any speedster. He is not the most skilled fighter in DC, and he is below wall level. I hope I cleared why Batman isn't as strong as people make him to be, and his glazing needs to stop.